Welcome to your Leo New Moon reading. If you're listening to this only, you are getting less than half of Great Mother's message to you for this Leo New Moon. All signs have their gifts that they give to us, and gifts that we give to each other through our emotional orientation each month. It waxes and wanes, but Leo is ruled by the sun, and if nothing else, everyone knows their sun sign. There's a reason for that, so you want to go ahead. If you don't have time now, copy the link below or click into the link below. It goes to the Mama Drama Trauma channel. Want to subscribe to that for these types of longer videos that get into the meat of Mama Drama Trauma. This is a very important introduction to the Leo Virgo new moon. If you are in your current Sati, that means if you are Scorpio, Sagittarius, or Capricorn moon sign people in the Vedic astrology, this is a particularly important message for you because we're talking about the buildup from now until January of the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. Again, that video is at the Mama Drama Trauma channel. It's the introduction to the Leo new moon, what to do for the Saturn-Pluto conjunction. Now, between now and then is a season of planting and reaping. So you want to know what that's about, and you also want to pay attention to if your moon sign is coming up in a new moon in particular. I'm going to have Virgo up next, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn. In the meantime and in between time, you want to also look at full moon signs coming up in Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer in terms of full illumination and release. Very powerful time. This period is a seeding of the rest of your life, what the rest of your life is going to look like. And Great Mother is giving you a message about how to work with the supportive energy. Speaking of support, my gift via Great Mother to you is a free Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck. That's right. The newly revised Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck is now available. They're going to be shipped out as a Northern Hemisphere harvest. Happens for us September 14th. It's going to be sent out to you as a free gift. Now, there's a tutorial that is also a part of this gift between November 3rd and December 22nd. You choose Sunday or Monday nights which tutorial group you want to be a part of. And 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday and Monday between November 3rd and December 22nd, you're going to learn the 8 suits of the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck that aspire. We're always talking about those 6 lower or pip cards, as we say in traditional tarot, and the major arcana, ASPIRE, acknowledge, self-inquiry, processing, integrity, rebirth, and emancipation, in addition to the law cards. Of course, we have an angel card there, and the angels are working with all of us right now. So let's go ahead and get started with your reading. Virgo moon sign people, your center card, the work your soul wants to do this lunar cycle of this Leo Virgo new moon, Virgo in the Western, Virgo in the Vedic. Typically, your Western moon sign will be a Libra. And so you process and practically apply how you feel in Libran ways, in balancing ways, in ways in which you are relating to others beneficially. And that's a focus in terms of what emotionally feels practical. So this season of sowing and reaping for you, in terms of reaping from the eclipse season, what Great Mother downloads were all about. If you notice, I didn't do any videos in May or the early part of June because it was the end of that season. And so now this 6 months prior to January was all about that eclipse season, end of June, July, receiving those intense downloads. And so we have Ra here in the center, which is the Ajna chakra, the third eye, ruled by the moon, ruled by Great Mother. And this energy being one of download in the waxing gibbous position. Because as we download, we do revise, we do edit, we do reframe ourselves. And so Ra having to do with your gifts, talents, and abilities, Virgo moon sign people, there's a very strong indication that that is what you've been doing as it relates to that. Or what is coming through from the soul astrology in your Vedic moon sign is that the soul is wanting to focus on that kind of revision at this time. And to make it practically applicable, what's bringing this up is the law of ego form and manifestation, which is all about the practical manifestation of your gifts, talents, and abilities based on what you've downloaded them to be now going into the future. You know, we have those periods, those spurts of growth, they're called. There are phases of time, and that is why the introduction is so detailed in terms of what came through from Great Mother about that. There are lunar phases within our birth charts that break down what are called dashas. A typical Mahadasha in Vedic astrology is 120 years. That's a period of life. And so the period of life with regard to this Saturn-Pluto conjunction that's coming up is a 500-year period it takes for them to meet precisely at Capricorn 22 degrees. That's a Mahadasha, so to speak. That's what it takes for the soul to traverse the constellations during specific periods of time and phases. And so for this particular phase, getting down to the antradashas and breaking it down to the dominance of one planetary energy, etc., constellation, etc., is the law of ego form and manifestation, the energy of Akhenaten, the first planetary ruler to institute the worship of the one God. The one God being Ra, the sun, Leo new moon, the sun, the moon reflecting the light of the sun in the full moon phase. We see wanes down by the third quarter moon phase, which is all about release and letting go. So the sun goes into this Ajna energy here with the law of ego form and manifestation, which is double yin, single yang energy. So it is about download, double yin, Great Mother energy. It's not just about receiving single yin, but it's about receiving that maternal, that yin, that emotional, intuitive wisdom, single yin, acting on it as you feel the unction to do so. That's what's bringing up this sense of reward and accomplishment for this growth spurt. The growth spurt is a realization that whatever gift, talent, and ability you have as a healer, as an artist, as a teacher, as a parent, whatever that seems to be for you, and it could be multiple things that synergize into one thing. I've always loved to speak, to write poetry, and it culminates basically into teaching. So you want to look at that, because the law of ego form and manifestation is all about releasing any and everything that detracts you or distracts you from sharing your gifts, your talents, and abilities. That's the consciousness that is emerging for Virgo moon signs at this time. It's getting down to that degree of specificity and allowing yourself to own your downloads in a relaxed state so that you can follow the unction in a relaxed state. In other words, working with this intuitive guidance. You have this high third eye energy, and that's what I love about the new deck. We get to see the colors. And so you're starting off with lavender. Okay, that's third eye energy. So it's all about confirming what these downloads have been for you and where your soul is wanting to go in this season leading up to the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, which is about releasing the abuse of power. And so whether we are not recognizing our own power, or we are, but not using it in a healthful, divine way, the energies that are coming up in January are going to assist us in doing that, whether we want it or not. So we want to embrace our birthright to be happy, healthy, and whole. And so that's why we work with the energies. And your shadow position is Nefertiti. Own your beauty. You are beautiful. Your gift, your talent is amazing. And you may not realize that with Nefertiti in your shadow position with the waning gibbous moon, which is about gratitude and thanksgiving. So there's a sense of sharing your gifts, talents, and abilities that has not fully come through yet, or it has and you have yet to share them with others because you may not feel that you're ready or that you have everything you need in order to do it. Well, the law of ego form and manifestation is telling you it's yours. It is your unique gift, talent, and ability. Share it. Acknowledge it within yourself first with gratitude that you have it. Because what you want in your desire position is Sekhmet. This is waxing gibbous moon energy. This is all about revising, editing, shifting. Working with rage is all about acknowledging. Root chakra energy is the A in aspire for acknowledge. It's acknowledging the suppressed anger, the suppressed rage. There may have been for many years a lot of frustration with regard to what your gifts, talents, and abilities are. But now you're seeing what they are and you're beginning to acknowledge them. But what comes along with that sometimes is that since there's been a delay, you may feel that it's too late. Or, I can't go back to school for that, or I need to go to school for that. You may feel a sense of frustration that there's yet something else for me to do in order to realize this great beauty and abundance within myself. I'm just tired. I'm just frustrated. That's rage. And when the rage card comes up, invariably we say, I'm not angry at all. That always amazes me with the rage card. It's only when we really get in touch with ourselves, we're almost expecting the rage card to come up because we are in our integrity really dealing with the emotions of MDT. But for those of you who may be surprised, just know it is a common and natural part of the healing process. This healing process is part and parcel of going deeply within those wounds and looking at where we've been ignored, neglected, rejected, and not seen for who we are by our mothers, which is where we expect to find confirmation of our beauty. And then because it's not necessarily found there, or it is in a way that doesn't feel healthy, happy, and whole, we begin to reject and abandon it within ourselves. All of this creates a profound sense of depression. Depression is suppressed rage. So what you're wanting is to bring that up. You're wanting to clear that, and harvest season is a wonderful time to do that. Your soul is wanting to take advantage of the supportive energies now of this harvest season to clear that. Be sure to listen to the Leo new moon introduction, what to do for the Saturn Pluto conjunction, for clarification on this point of what you're desiring, Virgo, in terms of cleansing, because what is supporting you is heart chakra energy here. Sophia is the new moon energy here, and the new moon energy in your spread of Sophia, of course, is all about opening your heart to the inner wisdom. That is what is going to support you in this cleansing process of acknowledging the frustrations around what your soul is trying to bring through and drop down to you intuitively with regard to your gifts, talents, and abilities, and moving forward with that. It's time to shine your light in the world, but in order for you to do that, you have to apply what the downloads have been for you over the last 6 months. What have you been learning? Indicated by the position of your ego soul alignment is you've learned mind, body, and soul alignment. You've learned how to tap into that for yourself. But the indication here, with it being waning gibbous, there may be a sense of gratitude that is lacking for that. In other words, you haven't registered that you have accumulated an inner wisdom over the past several months that has aligned you body, mind, and soul, that you now need to apply to your everyday life. It's no longer a separate department, quote unquote, of spirituality, and then I live the rest of my life. The ego soul alignment position of Tara is the scene in The Wizard of Oz when Dorothy clicks her heels 3 times, body, mind, and soul, to align herself with herself and return home with gratitude, as opposed to when she left with rage. Okay? She ran away from the farm with the root chakra A, acknowledging her rage about her condition there, of not receiving the love she needed. And through her journey, she learned the love that she needed was self-love and spiritual independence, which is what this MDT journey over the last several months has been teaching you, has been showing you. You've gained the inner wisdom. You've gained some insights with regard to your gifts, talents, and abilities as well. So now there's a sense of body, mind, soul alignment that is happening. And so the reason your soul is wanting to do this work at this time, Lilith here, is personal power. It wants you, gut chakra, yellow energy. Isn't this great with the cards? You can see the chakras and you can see the predominance of what color is pronounced in your spread, which for you is third eye, which why the emphasis for you is to apply what you have been intuitively downloading. It's really important now because it's all this higher wisdom. And being Virgo moon ruled by Mercury, you're ruled by throat chakra energy. And you have 5th chakra with Nefertiti in your shadow position. So becoming more aware of your own beauty is why your soul wants you to own your personal power. Gut chakra energy is doing the emotional processing that's necessary, processing the rage with your inner wisdom, so that you can, as in this scene of The Wizard of Oz, step into the ruby red slippers. This is when Glinda the Good Witch bestows the ruby red slippers onto Dorothy's feet, which symbolizes our birthright to be happy, healthy, and whole. Lilith is about this activation of personal power. Root chakra is ruled by Saturn. So with regard to your preparation for the conjunction in January, it's utilizing the support of the lunar phases to process this rage. Mars rules the gut chakra, and right now, Mars is conjunct Venus and the moon in Leo and Purva Falguni, which is a very mature Leo energy. Now, Leo is ruled by the sun, and both the sun and the moon are in Leo. So that means we have the sun, the moon, Mercury conjunct the sun in Maha, and Venus and Mars in Purva Falguni with the moon. So all of these planets are in Leo, your 12th house. So yes, you are getting major downloads. Yes, you are getting major third eye energy. And yes, there is a push toward maturation with regard to practically applying these downloads. Now, how your soul wants to do this work is yet the 4th third eye moon card. This is new moon energy of Maya. It wants to release the illusion that anything can keep you from shining your divine light. Nothing can keep you from shining your divine light except your willingness, your ability, your availability to own your beauty. And it's the same with healing MDT. We have to first be willing, ready, and able to heal it before we can even hear from Great Mother, before we can even begin to entertain our divinity. So having worked through that, those of you who have been on the channel for a while, and those of you who are new, the invitation to do so if you have not, how your soul wants to do this work of embracing your gifts, talents, and abilities in practical ways is by releasing the illusion of rage. This is a confirmation, a reaffirmation of working with the energies from now into January to let go of the rage, the frustration. There's a lot of rage with MDT. I call it LTBS, a low tolerance for BS. It's just very low. Once we get to a point of being ready, willing, and able to heal MDT, we're pretty mad. Because moving beyond denial of MDT into the first stage of acknowledgement is all about LTBS. It's all about that. So that's why the card's in the deck. It's a natural part of the illumination release process. And doing this work, your most likely outcome is Sheila Nagig, that heart opening and breaking itself open more specifically in order to experience the gratitude for your gifts, your talents, and your abilities. It's getting there. For some of you, it is there, and you are feeling a great deal of reward right now. You are receiving rewards for sharing your gifts, your talents, and abilities, especially clients of mine who are Virgo moon sign people. I know that you are in this place now where you're actually being confirmed and affirmed for stepping out courageously and sharing your gifts and talents and abilities. And the rage for you may have to do with continuing to cleanse out those insecurities associated with why you haven't shared them up to this point. So Sheila Nagig is opening the brokenness of your heart to expand it to a place of what's the scene in this card. When the lion jumps out of the castle window upon hearing from Oz, they must bring back the witch's broom. So it's an opening up to the future with some resistance, but the heart is open to doing it simultaneously. In other words, there is some apprehension, some fear about doing it, but you still are going in it headlong. And I believe that is the definition of courage. Your outcome in all of this is a great deal of courage. Virgo moon sign people ruled by intelligent Mercury in Maha at this time, a tremendously intelligent Leo energy. Now, for your new moon wishes, we have coming up for you are your suggested Virgo new moon readings. And remember, we always do our new moon readings based on the Western astrology, which is how we marry our ego desires with our soul intentions. Virgo rules excessive perfectionism, including worry, criticism, blame, and judgment, workaholic tendencies. Pencil and paper will aid you in jotting down it as you hear what resonates with you for your Virgo new moon wish. These are sample wishes to curb perfectionism. I want all self-defeating tendencies to perfectionism easily lifted from me. I want the habit of obsessive worrying totally lifted from me. I want to stand free of critical judgment of myself and others. I want the compulsion to fix others totally lifted from me. I want my mind's habit of using negative, critical language easily lifted from me. I want the habit of compulsively blaming others totally lifted from me. I want the compulsion to be right easily lifted from me. I want the habit of working at the expense of living a balanced, happy life easily lifted from me.
Great Mother speaks. I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine.